Welcome to the 56th IFFI in Goa. Movie magic is on full display here on day 3. Panjim city has a festive look. The lights are going to come on in just a little while and it all starts to look so pretty, Dilip.
येस नमस्कार आणि योगा इफ्फी 2025 पणजे शारात सुरू आसा आणि टप्प्या टप्प्यान तो मुखार वचत आसा.
If you see someone on the street walking at full speed with their heads down, you know that they are rushing to reach a screening on time. We have filmmakers, film students, media delegates, even hackers attending the festival this year.
भारत तशेंच संवसारभरातल्या कलाकारांची मांदियाळी ह्या सुवाळ्याक सध्या लाभत आसा आणि दूरदर्शनाच्या माध्यमांतल्यान हो आसा दिसपट्ट्या घडणुकांचो नियाळ.
Stay tuned for our daily roundup of the day's highs. If you've grown up through the 70s to the 90s, or if you love classic film, chances are when you think of beauty and film, you will think Umrao Jan and Muzaffar Ali. The acclaimed poet and filmmaker spoke to our very own Neeraj Prabhu.
We have with us acclaimed filmmaker Muzaffar Ali. Sir's two classic films, Umrao Jan and Gaman, are part of the Restored Classics segment here at the 56th IFFI. Sir, right away, thank you very much for making time for us. Classics and being restored says a lot about the timelessness and the relevance of your films, Umrao Jan and Gaman.
Yes, it's very gratifying to see that people are respecting art, people are respecting effort and putting in more effort to make it, give it a longer lease of life. So I'm really happy that both these films could be brought here. Umrao Jan was, I think, restored a few months back and it was released also. And it's been a kind of a trans-generational journey, for the film. Because people have seen it, and their maybe parents have seen it, and grandparents have seen it, and still it continues to make a place in people's soul. So I'm very happy.
After 44 years now since Umrao Jan was made, and 47 since Gaman was made, how has the segment transcended? How has the filmmaking evolved?
Intensity of telling the truth in an authentic way, you know what I mean? You have to be realistic and truthful to the subject, to the time, to the feeling. You can't go, overboard, because the moment you go overboard, you're kind of playing with the truth and the reality. So I think that is a special genre of filmmaking that I subscribe to, and I think it is also alive in many cases, but sometimes people take either technology too far or they take production design over the top. So I think it gets a little distorted, but I maintain that films should be testimony to time, to period, to culture, and that's what my filmmaking is all about.
Did you foresee the success that these films got, especially Umrao Jan?
I thought when I was making it, it might enter people's bloodstream, and slowly it did. It got into people's lives. It's not a kind of a film that is a box office film. It's a one-to-one film, So it's made deep relationships with many people across the spectrum, and with the change of mediums, like from celluloid to pneumatic to everything disc. It's just been surviving, and now with the digital restoration in 4K, it has the possibility of going anywhere.
You've been part of so many IFFIs, and what are the, I would say, striking aspects of the evolution of IFFI, the cinema that comes to India and Indian films?
See, I'm not a commercial person, so for me, these institutions say a lot and mean a lot. You know? And then I'm attracted to it, and they are attracted to me also for some reason. So, like, I've been part of even Prasar Bharati, you know, for 7 years I was on the board. So, I think the public broadcasting and public interest in cinema is very important. The moment you put commercial objectives before your communication, then वो मज़ा नहीं आता है. Then you lose the flavor of saying what you have to say. You know?
The depth in directorial approach that you get the best out of the actors. I mean, what's your methodology?
I think it's layer by layer, relationship by relationship, and being an artist, being a painter, I approach films in a more kind of sensual way, with more symbolism and more things. So, and for me, each person is as important. You know, so for me, my relationship with my cameraman is very, very important, or my music director, or my actor. So I think these are very intense relationships, which are complete in themselves. You know, how you make the whole film is a different thing, but how you make each person contribute to the process of filmmaking is in itself a fine art. You know, and people have to get immersed in your vision. Because I'm immersing myself in their talent, so they have to understand my vision also.
अनुपम खेर एक अष्टतासाचो कलाकार आणि अभिनेतो. आंतरराष्ट्रीय चित्रपट महोत्सवात तांचो एक चित्रपट तन्वी द ग्रेट ह्या वर्साच्या आंतरराष्ट्रीय चित्रपट महोत्सवातल्या इंडियन पॅनोरामा विभागात आसा. तांचे आमकां संवाद साधपाची संद मेळ्ळी.
I have the pleasure of sitting here with Mr. Anupam Kher, who is a famous actor, done over 500 films, and he's here at the International Film Festival because he has directed and produced the film Tanvi the Great. You all have written such an amazing movie, and how did you choose the whole movie around autism? Because it is not only inspiring, but it throws a lot of light in today's world on a very important field like that.
So it was personal to me because my niece, whose name is Tanvi, and so the name of the film was Tanvi the Great, is autistic. 4 years back when she was 13, we were at a wedding. My brother's daughter was getting married, and we were celebrating. Everybody was partying, everybody was dancing, drinking, and Tanvi was standing away from this whole halla gulla, and she was looking up, and I asked her, Tanvi, what are you looking at? And she said, I'm looking at my world. Now that was a very loaded statement. She could not describe what she was looking at, and I could not decipher what she was looking at also. And then I got in touch with Ankur and another writer, Abhishek, and we decided we must make a film about goodness. We must make a film about triumph of what people think is people with disability, because the biggest ability people with disability have is the power to be good, is the power to be truthful. So they must be thinking that we are disabled because we don't have truth in us. We manipulate people, and that's what the film celebrates life, and that's why it's a musical. It has music by M.M. Kiravani sir. It has amazing response at the Goa International Film Festival.
Actually, ये autistic है.
अरे आर्टिस्टिक है तो अच्छी बात है. तन्वी से मुस्कुराना सीख.
हर साल की तरह हम इन बहादुरों के परिवारजनों को मंच पर आमंत्रित करेंगे और सम्मानित करेंगे.
Excuse me, मेरे पापा भी वर्दी पहनते थे. I think he was also बहादुर.
उनको कुछ क्यों नहीं मिला?
You are expelled.
मैं पापा के ड्रीम्स फुलफिल नहीं कर पाई हूँ।
You're okay?
I have decided.
Decided what?
I'm joining the Indian Army.
I would like to ask you the question, what is the biggest challenge you had when writing this script?
When you touch upon such subjects, the biggest, it's not a challenge, but it's something which is always, which should be there in your mind, that you should be true to the subject. You should not end up making light of that situation, or it should not, people should not feel, oh, this is not real, oh, this is, they have done it for their own advantage or used it for their own advantage, because that was not the intent. So that was a concern, that was a guideline that we followed, and I think it has brought results, and which is why the film gets a lot of love.
The challenge for the whole team was to follow what is the theme of the film. For those days that we were shooting together, the challenge was that we wanted to be good human beings.
I just wanted to ask you, you have chosen a new actress and this is her first film. What was the challenge you had in getting her in the role and doing such an amazing job in the film?
No, it's my job to sort of, if I am worked for such a long time and I've chosen my subject which requires, first of all, I was very clear from the beginning that I will need a new girl who will become believable in the film, because I didn't want an established actress. I was also struggling to find how do I want the girl to be like, because मुझे नहीं पता था कि I didn't want her to be like Tanvi. Tanvi is different. In cinema, we have to create a certain liberties we have to take. She helped me in giving shape to Tanvi, and she's done a remarkable job. She can be compared to any actress in the world as far as brilliance is concerned.
The red carpet is our daily dose of glitz and glam. Al Roy got an extra large dose today, speaking to Golden Globe winning Australian actress and director Rachel Griffiths of the show 6 Feet Under. She is attending IFFI for the 30th anniversary of her debut film, Muriel's Wedding.
Well, hello everybody and welcome to IFFI. We have with us Rachel, who's joining us out here for the retrospect movie which has been recreated, 30 years anniversary. Your very first film this was. Can you tell us a little bit about the film and how do you feel at being present at IFFI, your first time in India?
The film Muriel's Wedding is an Australian classic. It's a comedy, a family comedy about a girl who dreams of getting married and then realizes that maybe getting married is not the only thing that a woman can aspire to. So it was very ahead of its time. It's very quotable. So there's lots of quotes from Muriel's Wedding that people say all the time. Just in everyday life, they'll use like some of the quotes. So that's pretty amazing to be part of a film that's gone into the lexicon of Aussie slang, which is really good. But yeah, 30 years later, I guess I'm glad I'm alive. I'm glad I'm still able to work in the industry and producing and directing as well now.
This is my new life. I'm a new person.
I'm a parking inspector. I'm unemployed.
I'm beautiful!
You're invited to attend the most unexpected event of the year.
Christ.
Muriel's Wedding.
Muriel, how was that wedding?
This film brought Australian cinema into the spotlight. How has it been for you? It was your debut film, so post that, how has life changed for you?
Life did change like that night. I was performing in a play and I never thought I'd be a movie actress or a television actress. I thought I would be more a theatre actress, you know. Didn't grow up being one of the pretty girls and not even one of the funny girls. So that night I came late to the opening at the Sydney Film Festival and I hadn't seen the film, and my friend met me outside and he said, "Rachel, your life has changed." And I said, "Oh, don't be silly, don't be silly." And he said, no, your whole life has changed." And I walked into the party and everybody was, it was overwhelming. Everyone is like, "This is the best Australian comedy of all time and you're amazing." And I think the following week I was going off to England to do my first film overseas, and it really did give me my international career, because not every Australian film kind of goes to the world like this, but it was very successful in Europe, very popular in America too. So it was a real breakthrough for independent auteur films that were also funny. A lot of people think Australian humour doesn't translate to the world. Today I'll be the judge with the Indian audience. Let's see how they laugh.
Yeah, speaking of Indian audiences, this is the first time you're visiting India.
Yeah.
First time in Goa. Could you tell us what are your first thoughts and impressions of the place?
Well, I had the great fortune to work with the incredible Indian actor Om Puri. So one of my second film, I think it was my second or my third film in the UK, was called My Son the Fanatic by Hanif Qureshi, who wrote the script. Udian Prasad was the director. And I worked with Om, and he would call me Rachel G, and I would call him Om G. And he would say, Rachel G, you must come to India. And I'd say, Om G, I will come to India. And we would email, and he'd say, Rachel, when are you going to come to India? And I said, I'm coming. And then he passed away. And I was so heartbroken about that. But I think Om G, I think Om G hopefully is looking down from whatever heaven he wants to live in, and I hope he's like, Rachel G finally came.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. All the very best, and it's great to have you over here 30 years later celebrating your first film.
आंतरराष्ट्रीय चित्रपट सर्तीत काय दोळे दिपकावपी आणि तुमकां सगळ्या प्रेक्षकांक डेलिगेट्साक खुर्चेक बांदून दवरपी आणि खिणाखिणाक उत्कंठा वाडोवपी चित्रपटांचें प्रदर्शन जायत आसा. अशाच दोन चित्रपटां विशींची हे आसा माहिती. द डेव्हिल स्मोक्स एक स्पॅनिश चित्रपट जो 5 भावंडांच्या भोंवतणी घुंवता. आमी अशें म्हणुया की ही आसा 5 भावंडांची काणी जांकां तांच्या आवय बापायन सोडून दिला. आणि दुसरो चित्रपट आसा माय फादर्स शॅडो, जो एक नायजेरियन चित्रपट जावन आसा जातून 2 भावांची काणी दर्शयल्या. जाणून घेऊया ह्या चित्रपटाविषयी सविस्तरपणान.
From Berlinale 2024 is the winner of the Perspectives Award for Best Feature Film. The Devil Smokes and Saves the Burnt Matches in the same box. This Mexican film from director Ernesto Martinez Bucio is a haunting debut that chronicles a traumatic summer for 5 siblings left in the care of their paranoid and unstable grandmother when their parents disappear suddenly. Set in mid-1990s Mexico City, the film blurs the line between reality and the supernatural as the children grapple with fear, isolation, and their fractured family dynamics. Narrated with a mix of urgent handheld camera work, it depicts the generational trauma and the resilience of childhood imagination amidst darkness. From Cannes 2025, winner of a special mention Camera d'Or, UK-Nigerian production My Father's Shadow by director Akinola Davies Jr. This semi-autobiographical tale is set over the course of a single day in the Nigerian capital Lagos during the 1993 presidential election, and it follows 2 young brothers, Akin and Remy, as they spend a day with their estranged father during their travels through the chaotic city to collect a delayed salary. Through intimate moments and small gestures, the film explores the complex bond with the family amidst political turmoil.
You know what? Go and wear your clothes. You are following me to Lagos today.
But Mommy said we shouldn't leave the house. That we should wait for her. Why don't you stay and wait for her? You can tell her I went with Daddy to Lagos, but he puts you in charge.
Hopefully, your mommy comes back before we go. Otherwise, we just have to leave message for her.
Why are you taking that? All your business. Where did you get that from? None of your business. And don't beg me when I buy fan ice.
IFFI takes us around the world, and this time it is to Costa Rica. Brian met up with the crew of Pescador for a little dose of magical realism.
Welcome to Goa, the team that put Pescador together. Pescador actually means fisherman, right?
Yes.
It has that particular thing. Tell us what motivated you to do the film? Because after your near-death experience, you could have just gone into counseling and let it go. But the transition to filming it and making a film, tell us a bit about it.
I've wanted to make films for a very long time, and I've kind of been searching for a first project to make. And I think we've been working together as cinematographer and director for 13 years. But obviously this is our feature debut, so only short films before this. And I think that kind of what inspired the movie is that, like, when you almost die and things that become important come into clarity, what's important to you. And I think that kind of an artistic drive becomes almost more powerful when you have a near-death experience. So I think that it almost feels like time is running out a little bit when you have a near-death experience. So it's like, I haven't made a film, I need to make a film, and I'd like to make something that's personal and that feels authentic to myself.
And so you took yourself and the team to Costa Rica.
Yes.
Which, as you said, the gentrification is alarming. It's happening in places around the world. Does your movie therefore have a kind of subterranean environmental message? How are we looking at the way the world is developing?
I think it has to do with how we interact with each other in the way the world is developing. How our behavior when we're visiting other countries and when we're visiting places that are not our home countries, they do matter. And it does. And I think that's also reflective in how the film was made.
The challenges you faced when you had to do the cinematography.
Yeah,
a different country.
Certainly. I mean, honestly, I think filmmaking is semi-universal. There's excellent crew down in Costa Rica, and I think the inherent challenges were probably associated with the things that most of us have to deal with, or things that are out of our control, like things like the weather. But in regards to Costa Rica, I mean, it was a really wonderful place to film, and they had such a robust film community. And our collaboration with our producer, Jimena Cortez Ramirez, also really enabled us to be able to operate there in a wonderful place.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
That was a big part of it.
You talked about how it's important that when people from maybe the developed or the north go down to the global south, they need to respect the people, the environment, and not to get political. But you think that the global north is not doing it well enough? Maybe the Americans.
I mean, I want to only speak on things that I'm personally familiar with.
Yeah.
And I think that there can be a tendency for Americans to treat the world as if it belongs to them.
Yes.
A little bit. And so, I can only base this on personal experience. But, my hope is that Americans are respectful and want to kind of integrate themselves respectfully into communities that they visit or move to, especially move to. But yeah, I don't always see it happening.
So, why are you in Costa Rica?
I haven't seen my brother in over 5 years. I don't think about him anymore, at all. But that night I had a dream. We were looking for fish.
Don't you study fish?
I do. As a hobby?
He could breathe. I couldn't.
It's a creature, a folktale creature.
Pescador, soy yo quien habla. Contemplo que estéis muy solitario. Deseáis un hijo. Si no amáis a vuestro hijo, pagáis un terrible precio. Hicisteis un juramento como padre.
Once upon a time, there was a lonely fisherman who only wanted a son.
भारतातल्या तरेकवार भाषातल्या चित्रपटांचे प्रदर्शन आंतरराष्ट्रीय चित्रपट महोत्सवात जायत असता आणि आंतरराष्ट्रीय चित्रपट महोत्सवात आपल्या चित्रपटाचो प्रीमियर जावप म्हळ्यार भाग्याची गजाल असता. हाती हाती पापा पापा ह्या बंगाली चित्रपटाचो वर्ल्ड प्रीमियर जालो आणि रेड कार्पेटाचेर वर्ल्ड प्रीमियराच्या वेळार ह्या चित्रपटातल्या कलाकारांनी उपस्थिती दायली जाणून घेऊया ह्या चित्रपटाविषयी.
With me is the cast and crew of the beautiful movie Hati Hati Papa Papa. At first I got, of course, Rukmini, who's the protagonist of this film. We also have the producer and the director of this movie. You know, we've seen you in a zillions of ads and probably quite a few movies as well. So how has it been transiting from the advertisement world to movies and working in a film that is, you know, it's got such an interesting topic. So how has it been? How's the transition?
Of course, from ads to cinema, two very different worlds. But I think I'm enjoying both my roles equally. My first love has always been modeling, but right now I think I'm head over heels in love with acting. And speaking of acting, today my movie is premiering here at IFFI Goa at the world premiere. So it's a huge honor. I think we are extremely excited. We're ecstatic as a team. We were all nerves before the red carpet because we're like, this is such a big event. Because as an actor, we've always heard that, you know, IFFI Goa is like the mecca of cinema when it comes to film festivals in India. So we're extremely hopeful that the audiences who are going to watch it today, they're going to love the film. And of course, we made it with a lot of heart and honesty, and I hope it strikes a chord with the audiences. As always, we get you the cheat sheet of the best at IFFI at 56 from our in-house expert, Sachin Chatte, giving Brian the lowdown.
So tell us, what have you been seeing? What do you like?
There have been a bunch of very good films, I must say. The two top picks in the last couple of days would be Jafar Panahi's It Was Just an Accident, which won the Palme d'Or, the top prize at the Cannes Film Festival. It's again, you know, a typical Jafar Panahi film where he takes a very simple story and adds layers of morality, of political stuff, and so many other things. And it's just amazing how you can take such a small little theme and, you know, expand it so much on it.
Yeah.
So that was one of the best films. It was at Cannes I had seen it, and of course it's been one of the best films. And we saw the crowds for the film yesterday. There were like huge crowds yesterday and today also at Panorim. The other film that I really liked, which also won the jury prize at the Cannes Film Festival, it's a film by Joachim Trier, whose film The Worst Person in the World was also screened at the festival. So this year the film is called Sentimental Value, which again is about an aging director and his relationship with his daughter. Once again, the beauty of all these films is how they take something very small and simple and how they expand on it gradually and, you know, bring in different themes about relationships, about father and daughter relationships, about their own personality, what is, you know, what does a selfish person do, what does a selfish person not do, what should not do, where you can kind of empathize with the characters. So I quite liked Sentimental Value as well by Joachim Trier.
So in any of the films, in any particular film sizes, stories like this really connect with people because they're all about relationships and bonding and stuff like that.
Yes, I mean the thing about, you know, international cinema is that you never know what subject they can take and how they can make a film. For example, there's a film that I would strongly recommend. It's a mid-fest film called Sirat, which is playing tomorrow and after tomorrow as well. So Sirat is just about a father and a son in search of their daughter, and they kind of have just one clue that she's gone to some rave party, and that's all they're just searching for her. Now, it's just a one-line small thing. Now it could be set anywhere, but the director Oliver Lux, who's a big name in world cinema now, he decides to set it in a desert, and the locales are so picturesque, and the soundscape, you know, these small things. One thinks of cinema only as images, which is not the case. Cinema is also sound these days, and you know the kind of work that they do on Sound You Have Atmos, where the sound comes not only from the sides but also from the ceiling, and you can play around so much. So if you have a desert landscape and you have rave music playing there, so it's quite a spectacular film, not just in terms of its story, but also just in terms of how it is executed.
Yo creo que tú no has entendido dónde te está metiendo.
C'est ça qu'on sent quand c'est la fin du monde.
Stay tuned for all of the action coming up tomorrow. Same place, same time. You can catch more full-length feature interviews and content on our YouTube channel or our Instagram handle at ddgoa_Panji. See you here tomorrow. Tab tak doston, alvida.